A new era of Rams football is underway after we just went through an offseason that saw massive changes coming to the team, with at least the top 15 players all being new additions. Whether it was in free agency or the draft, this team is ready for the future. And the future, if you will, is where we begin. Technically, that's the present, but it's the start of seeing all of these new players, seeing how this year does with us bringing in a lot of young talent in the draft, a couple younger free agents, teaming them up with some veterans that should be able to hold down the line while we develop some of these young guys. Defense definitely saw, I feel like, the best additions. They're now up to an 80 overall. The offense still at that 77, so despite getting rid of a lot of guys, we at least stay the same, get younger, and expect a lot of good things. We brought in a lot of new guys, and I can't wait to get on the field, so let's just get straight out onto the field and see what this team has in store. And Season 2 begins on the road as we kick off here against the Packers. It will be defense up first, and a defense that saw so many new guys added, and I can't wait to see what they do out on this field as Jordan Love takes the field for the Packers. And we will be seeing one of the rookies get the start today in Nick Bell at the rush DT spot. We had an injury in preseason with Bonito, so he's going to be sliding in as we had to shake up the line a little bit. Play one is 6 yards to Watson. As for the cornerbacks, we will see the rookie in Rice on the opposite side of Paulson Adebo. The veteran in Jones will be getting the start at slot as another Jones, Aaron Jones, gets the first down for the Packers. And as you can tell by the way we're lining up here, we have changed the defensive playbook. We're running with the Steelers defense this year as we get slowed down, but the ball popped free. Nice hit from number 16. That is the newly acquired Byron Jones, who makes the big play for us. 2nd and 10. As we come out in the base formation for the first time, there's Murray with the big hit. Only a gain of 1, forcing our first 3rd down. Now we just have to be able to capitalize when we get to this part and get off the field, as it's going to be a bunch to the left-hand side. They'll spread wide. Pass rush coming in will force the quick throwaway, and already the defense gets the stop. That's honestly not something we saw all too often last year, as the rookie quarterback will be headed out. Bo Harold getting the start day 1. We were really able to put some decent pieces around him, and we'll see how well he does his rookie year, though we're not going to toss him into the fire. We're going to start with a run. Cam Akers, try to get to the outside, find a lane, no, but picked up and slammed down instead. It'll be a loss of 2. Tried to wait patiently for blocks to, well, be blocked, but didn't quite form too well. It'll be the first pass here for the rookie, though it's going to be a throw out of a sack. And all ready for the young quarterback facing a big play. 3rd and 12. Hard count, no one jumps. It'll be play action. We're going to try to roll, see if we can find someone open. Actually, Oppo, as it's going to be Quez Watkins who falls down. I mean, hey, I will take the catch. Crossbody throw. Not too bad for the rook. But he will find one of the new additions at receiver in Quez Watkins, getting the start on the outside in the 3 receiver sets. We're going to stick with Claypool as one of the main guys on the outside in the 2 set, as Akers does finally gain some yards. And with the additions to the receiving group, we're going to spread things out a little bit more this year. It's not going to be as compact, though I do still want to stick with some 2 tight end sets, as I like the players. Going up top, Claypool. Not the best choice. I saw what he saw for a second, but not probably the read that we should have went with. We'll stick with the pass on 2nd and 10. We're going to send Akers out. Looks like he might get open, but instead Tanyan was working open, but the pass rush is not being friendly right now. And this offensive line still has a couple weak points. We'll see how well they do, how well they hold up as the season goes along. We are starting 2 rookies. We'll get this one out wide. Going to be Akers, who will not get by Jair Alexander. But down to the 32, we could take a field goal here. Last year, probably would have tried to go for it. But this year, we have more of a shot to win some games. So let's take points when they're available. as Brown does nail it. We will take a lead, 3-0 scoring on our first offensive drive. Now we just need to see more of what we saw from the defense on the previous drive as the Packers retake the field. One thing I'm definitely looking forward to this year is hopefully seeing just some more pass rush. We definitely have some guys that could do it. We just need to see him actually do it, as it will be a play action. Swinging out wide, going to be Jones. In comes Rice with his first tackle. Is more so a force out, gain of 9. Really excited, again, about the play we could see from him. Surprisingly wasn't a hidden dev, but comes in close to an 80 overall, or at an 80, so I expect big things as a run stop there on 2nd and 1, make it 3rd and inches. We brought in big old Michael Pierce to help solidify the middle of the line, and it clearly looked like it helped there. As we're gonna send the blitz on 3rd down, we do get the quick rush, but it is picked up well by a veteran offensive line group here with the Packers. And arguably you could say that at this point, Love is a veteran quarterback, though it would only be his 2nd year starting. Pass going out wide will find their receiver, 18. Is that Cup? No, it's Cobb. I don't know, did not look like Cobb. Maybe it's a different Cobb. Maybe Green Bay has found themselves a new Cobb with an empty set. Going deep down the sideline, in comes Durant, but he's not needed. Pass overthrown. And that will leave 4 needed here on 3rd down as we look to send a blitz, keep some guys down towards the line. Jones had a rush in. They will end up finding Cobb, but not the first down. Defense is making plays out the start here. So after we force another punt, our offense starts deep at the 14 as we'll come out with the weak eye, and Kenny Clark shows us why he's Kenny Clark. So let's try to just do better as this game goes along, as we go with a play action. Let's get this one out to DeGuara. Gonna be the easy hit, and he'll pick up a decent chunk there, making it a more manageable 3rd down, though still long. And we'll go from shotgun with trips out to the left-hand side. Gonna see a little bit more of Nakua, a little bit more at least this year, as he is open. Try to get him on the run. He's close. They mark it 4th and inches. At the 24, it'd be very risky to go for it here, although I surely would love to. But as we reach the end of quarter 1, I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. So it will be a punt, and the Packers will be starting back at their own 28, which is a whole lot better than starting at our 28. So a 1st and 10 to open up the 2nd quarter. Gonna be a check here from Love, as they have trips out to that right-hand side, setting up some underneath. No, they go deep. It's Paulson to Debo in one-on-one, and he gets the pick. Our leading interception artist from last year with 6, back again striking in week 1. Madden did us so dirty. I don't think I've shown it, but he actually was a superstar at the end of last season, and they regressed him down to a star. He also wasn't even in the Pro Bowl after being such an iconic player. As we're going deep, Claypool tries to stay in bounds, but can't get down the field. But a big chunk play, something we didn't see all too often last year either. This team is rolling. And what's crazy is we're doing the same exact things we tried to do last year. It's just the massive rise, probably the proper way of saying it, in talent compared to last year. Still some areas we do need to work on, and some spots that we did address and bring in new guys with better talent are also on the older side. So still a lot of work to do with this roster, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. And I'm sure Cam Akers does like seeing big plays coming from anyone else besides him. He got run down a lot last year. Saw some injuries crop up because of it. Try to look for a pass across the middle, though that time we cannot throw out of the sack. It's going to be a sack for Van Ness. And Van Ness was a player that did very well against us when we played against the Packers last year. So if we could keep his numbers down, I'll be happy with that, as you could maybe argue for some form of penalty there on Watt. Tried to set up the halfback screen, but Akers was held in the backfield, so nothing doing there. We have some guys going deep down this right-hand side. No one really getting open. Harold gonna have to scramble, but will not get out of the way of Gary. Will be another sack and a punt after we get to a 4th and 33. And that'll end up really being the first drive that doesn't quite go our way. Though we do get a decent punt, as the Packers start back at the 20. So we've been doing well in the field position game as well, with a quick throw caught by Cobb, but definitely not the actual Packers Cobb. Just a very funny coincidence that they ended up bringing in another receiver whose name is Cobb and wears the same number. They just need another quarterback to wear 12. With another throw going Cobb's way, who does avoid the first defender, picking up about 8. Now the defense has an opportunity once again to get off the field early. With a 3rd and 1, they got to bunch out to the left. They will go with the run. Aaron Jones spinning does pick up the first down. And I feel like I'm just now realizing that the 18 Cobb they have is a tight end, or at least is playing some tight end. He's also playing well spread out at the same time. So we'll see how that works, as that was not a great cover job from Adebo. On Dobbs, I don't know how many times I've played against the Packers and called him Doobs. That's my mistake. I think I was watching the highlights or something of the last Packers real life game, and they said Dobbs, and I was like, I am dumb, because clearly that's it. As we do get a blitz off the edge, Okoronkwo hits home his first sack, one of our new signees. Really like what he brings to the game, a well-balanced player in terms of pass rush and run stopping. Hopefully we'll see a bit of both as they go back to Dobbs, who's avoiding a few amount of guys there. Picks up a decent chunk, making it 3rd and 6. But once again, we have a chance to get off the field here. Just need to clean some things up with an empty look. We got 2 off to the left, 3 to the right. Will be a pass from Love. They try to set up some level play, and they'll just throw it out. They concede we had better coverage, but it looks like they might be going for it here on 4th. Or at least maybe faking the field goal. I know Daniel Carlson, he could hit it from distance. He has the power, and it drifts back in. A heck of a boot on Carlson. A 60-yarder ties this game up. So now we'll see Bo Harold on the offense take the field for our first 2-minute offense. Yeah, we don't need anything splashy here, just simple and consistent, as it looks like they're coming out in a 3-4 defense to go up against our nickel. Not the smartest choice, as we'll go Claypool across the middle. Nice effort there to get the grab. We could definitely spread out defenses a lot more this year, and I'm really looking forward to that. If only we didn't have our fastest receiver going up against one of their best corners, Quez Watkins going up against Alexander as we throw the ball away. Alexander definitely has the skill set to take away that speed. If anything, maybe we need to switch Davis and Watkins in the second half. That might be more ideal for us. And gonna break the 4th wall here. Told him to throw the ball. He didn't. So not quite sure what happened there with the rookie. Had a chance to throw the ball, but definitely did not get the ball out in time. We'll take the one-on-one. Davis couldn't get the positioning. And with another 4th and long, we'll punt away. And the Packers now will have 35 seconds and 3 timeouts to find some points. They got the field goal to level things up on their previous drive, and we'll find that's our guy, Watson. Close, but not really. Right across the middle already, calling that timeout. Not sure who he beat on that left-hand side. Might have been the rookie. As we'll stick with some man coverage. They go with their own screen. We eat it up quickly. They'll call their second timeout, 25 seconds left. So we'll stick with the man coverage. Try to get a little bit of some pressure off the edge without sending the pressure as they go right down the middle. Cobb, as Murray gets beat, and Cobb almost took it the distance. They've definitely worked the ball down inside the red zone here. Field goal is what you would expect, and that seems to be what they will take. With 17 seconds on the board, you could at least take 1, maybe 2 shots at the end zone, but they'll take their points and their lead as we have minimal time left here in the first half. And we have made our adjustment, getting Watkins over on that left-hand side. I want to be able to utilize his speed when possible. As we go across the middle, that pass overthrown. Now with just 9 seconds left, need to get to probably at least the other 35 to have a chance at a late field goal. We'll try to hit our man Davis, but the ball swatted down. Great job there from the safety, who looked like he was flown to the opposite side, coming back for it. As we'll have one more play here in this first half. Quez Watkins gonna go deep, not quite deep enough. Was about a yard short. Maybe we would have had a play there. So we're seeing what the rookie can do. Definitely need to slow things down. We started pressing a lot there in that second quarter, and I feel like that hurt the offense. So let's slow it down a little bit. Only 4 rushing plays in that first half. Not good for this team. So things to learn as we move forward. But let's take a look around the league, see what else is happening. Maybe, there we go. Saints taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs surprisingly didn't have a great season last time. Are up 13-0 at half to the Saints, who did have a pretty good season last year, though Carr, 2 interceptions, definitely not starting off well. As the Bears taking on the Texans, big lead, 38-10 currently, Bears up top with only 1 touchdown, at least for Fields through the air. As for the final update, taking a look at the Commanders taking on the Jaguars. Jaguars currently up 13-3 with a new rookie quarterback there for the Commanders. Lawrence, 2 touchdowns but 1 interception in that first half. Now as we get the second half underway, will be our offense out first. A prime opportunity here to take a lead once again. We haven't had it since our first offensive drive, well, after they got the tying field goal. So not as bad as what I was originally saying, but mostly I was trying to say we haven't scored since our first offensive drive. So it's time we get the ball in the end zone here. So we're going to have to roll out, try to buy some time again, and we'll end up just throwing this one away. But we need to find a way to convert here on 3rd and 8. If we're going to find anyone open, it might be the fullback to the outside. DeGuara can't squeeze it. It was a good throw from the rook, but Alexander knocks it away. So after the offense quickly leaves the field, can our defense do the same here for the Packers? It's been a defensive game for sure. As they try to get Jones to the outside, he does get the corner. Good seal by the receiver. And it will finally be a big game for Aaron Jones, only his 4th carry. Both teams very pass heavy in that first half. We'll see if both teams are making the same change. It is another run. Jones not going to get anywhere, just back to the line of scrimmage. Now with a 2nd and 10, just past midfield, into plus territory, will be another run. Not going to at least have the original space, but does break the Durant tackle. Will be 3rd and 1. This is a spot this defense has forced several times, and it's once again going to be that bunch to the left-hand side. As we're going to bring the blitz, Okoronkwo can't quite get by the edge, and it will be Dobbs. I almost said Doobs again, down to the 20. Packers looking to extend their lead as they are in field goal range, but with a fresh set of downs, they're thinking touchdown. As they have Jones down the middle, breaks another tackle, not quite going to get the first down. But on 2nd and 11, looks like the defense scrunching down towards the line, expecting a run. It is a run, but Jones breaks the tackle and is off to the house. We saw a late dive there from Adebo. Liked the effort, but wasn't going to get there. We just have to secure our tackles as the Packers take a 2-score lead. Well, at this point, the offense needs to get going. We're under 100 yards on the day, so that's not too good as we are already in the second half. I'll take the big hit there from Van Ness. It pushes us forward a little bit, though Akers definitely felt it. But what I would love to feel is us taking momentum here, because it's definitely in favor of the Packers, and rightfully so. They've made a majority of the good plays as we're going to roll out here. Try to go to the, I think it was Davis on the crossing route. Luckily, it was an edge rusher in coverage, and he dropped it. It was not a smart decision there from the rookie. He had 2 options. He tried to go with the one with the higher percentage of gaining more yards as the big hit smacks in. Right when we go to throw it, 4th and 5, gonna have to punt again. The offensive line is definitely showing some cause of concern, and that's the one group we definitely need to work on. It's also the area that we have a couple guys getting paid a lot of money who are not performing all too well. As we've seen a lot of pressure for the Packers, I would love to see a little bit more of our own. With a quick throw to the outside, they will have the catch, breaking the tackle. Luckily, Adebo will clean it up. That was a split second from being a really big play. As it's 2nd and 1, once again, we're going to send the double A-gap blitz. As they go with a run, Jones has space. Durant can't get the tackle. Shoves off another guy. I think that was Byron Jones as they get down to the 46. So they're definitely going more towards Jones here in the second half. Defense just needs to be able to adjust. This is going to be play action off of it now. Swinging it out wide, they have Watkins, who's all alone. Breaks another tackle, shakes another, and finally, our superstar does get the tackle. But the damage is done as they're down to the 21, just outside the red zone, with a tight ace formation, making a hard count or audible or something, some form of a check. Quick throw to the outside. A lot of guys here just wide open, no one even close. We definitely need to be doing better when we're in our man coverages. At least speaking for the safeties and linebackers, I don't feel like the outside has been all too bad. With a quick throw to the outside Durant, you gotta crash on that. But it will be a first and goal as they find their tight end Cobb. Now coming out with a heavy look. We're gonna send the D-line to that left side, though they do motion. So let's actually change that up. Let's slant to the right. This is gonna be a play action. Drop back into coverage. Flag comes in, though a bunch of time will eventually fade as they throw the ball away. But of course the reason they had all that time was due to a hold. So first and goal back at the 19, they stick with the tight ace. Trying to sit patiently. We'll get a good stop, though Okoronkwo a little bit shaken up. He's a guy who showed a lot of promise, but in his place, we'll see Nick Bell take over that spot, win in the base packages, and one of the other guys, one of the other rookies, though his name eluding me right now, will take over when it comes to the nickel, as it's a third and goal after the defense gets the stop down to the 6. But it will be from nickel that we come out, and it is Smith. I want to say it was the 4th round defensive tackle from Bama that we actually ended up going with, and it's going to be a pick from Kenneth Murray. Headed the opposite way. He has plenty of stamina. Watkins is in hot pursuit. We're at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, pick 6. Taking it the whole length of the field, Kenneth Murray Jr., the leader of this team, gets the first touchdown of the season. That makes it 2 interceptions on Jordan Love, both of which could have been touchdown drives, dramatically changing the landscape of this game. As we're still down, but it's only a field goal. As we sit tight in coverage, they go deep. Here's the rookie in Rice, who knocks it away, and Jaron Kearse couldn't pick it. That was going to be a prime opportunity to get the rookie his first pick, as Jordan Love definitely has been taking some risky shots downfield. But this one, a really easy decision, as he will find Joe Reed for the first down. He keeps breaking tackles. Joe Reed is not that high of a rated receiver, but he's making plays. Or at least making our guys miss, as we do head inside the 4th quarter. It's been the passing game hurting us, though. I don't feel like we've been too awful at it. Or at least when it's come to the deep game. We've given up the short. We've given up some plays across the middle as well, but overall I still feel like the team dramatically better than last year, though we couldn't get off the block, as it's Jones with the big run. First down to the 43. It was Ernest Jones who just couldn't quite shed the block, as it's going to be another shotgun look with a bunch to the right, or actually 3 off to the right, not in a bunch set, spread. Will be a play action. Okoronkwo back in the game, and he gets another. His 2nd sack of his day in his debut. Just need to keep seeing these plays come through, as they'll stick with a similar set. 3 off to the right, 1 to the left is their tight end in Cobb. With some quick passing, big hit comes in from Adebo, but Dobbs hangs on to it. We have a chance to get off the field here. If we allow about 5 more yards, that would be field goal range for Carlson. We already saw that he picked up a 60-yarder, but they don't need it. Once again, a broken tackle, as Watson will trot into the end zone, once again making it a 2-score lead. Now that's just been our problem today. We have to be able to secure our tackles, as we have a 1st and 10. We're going to send Corey Davis in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep. Though, great pursuit from the opposite side and a great edge. Gets no gain. And at this point of the game, we need to see those gains, as we're under 6 minutes left here. Will be a play action pass. Bo Harold, what do you got for us? We'll check this one down. How does that one get picked off? Walker, not into the end zone. Bo Harold laid out to get the stop. That should have been a catch by Akers, but just somehow, some way, Walker cuts in front of it. Now it's a 1st and goal. They go with Jones down the middle, and they say that's a touchdown. I don't know if he ever got past the 1. He dove, but he got smacked by Jaron Kearse. but it looked like the ref put his hands up before the hit even came in. We'll take another look. It's close. He was definitely past the 1. I don't know if that's a touchdown, though. But with how many points we're down and only having the 3 timeouts, there's no... we shouldn't go for it. We shouldn't challenge it, I guess I should say. As we're needing to find something here across the middle. Davis just wasn't aware the pass was thrown. We'll say it was behind the receiver, but it was placed where only his receiver was going to get to it. So clearly the connection not quite there, though they might have it here. Davis does beat Stokes. He's off to the races and is gone. The first passing touchdown from the rookie is deep. Despite that not being his best accuracy, he finds Corey Davis. We have pulled back ourselves a little bit. Now it just comes back to our defense, who really is the leader of this team. Needing to get a stop. With under 5.5 minutes, they'll start the run to the outside. Not clean tackles once again, but we only give up 4. But it is clear where we need to develop this defense, and that is in tackling. Giving up way too many yards after contact, though. Jones should have had the stop at the line of scrimmage, but instead the other Jones gets the better of him. It's another first. Down 10 points here with about 4.5 minutes. That's not something we could really afford. As we're once again going to try to send some heavy pressure, but just a bad angle from Okoronkwo. It'll be 8 more yards for Jones. Or I guess at this point I should probably call him Aaron, because we don't have a Jones that's also an Aaron. We have a Byron and we have an Ernest. And we're going to need both of them to help us out here as the tight end in motion. With an I formation, another handoff down the middle. Big hit from Murray, but it is a first down. You can tell Murray's trying to help out his defense as much as possible, and that's what we need with the captain really of this defense. We also need a big play on the outside as Adebo does not get the tackle, but he allows Watson to lose a couple more yards in the process. They still end up with a net gain of 2, but could have been more around 4 or 5, so not awful. Smart play from the Stanford man. As it's 2nd and 8. Looking for another run back to Jones or Aaron. Not going to break through that group of tackles, just a short gain. But if they repeat that here on 3rd, would be a first down as they're in shotgun. They got 2 spread either side. As we hit the 2-minute warning, so they were able to get a look at our guys, we were able to get a look at their guys. And both sides decide to shake things up here on 3rd and 4. With a bunch to the right, we change up our nickel look with a pass right down the seam, knocked away by Adebo. Inside the 2-minute warning, that is huge. And it will be too far of a kick, so they will punt. It's still a 2-score game, but there's the slightest hope as that punt goes out of bounds at the 23. And that is where Bo Harold will head back out. We need to find ourselves some chunk plays here. Needing 2 scores late. We only have the 3 timeouts, which I would prefer to save for defense. As we'll swing this one out, Claypool. I am glad you dropped that one. That is not a gain that we need. I was hoping he could get the quick pass. He would find the edge and get out of bounds, but definitely didn't work that way. Press up a little bit of some play action. We had Davis. He might still have it as Stokes once again just messes up on the outside. That's 2 straight deep throws that Stokes could have made the play. Great awareness there from Corey Davis and saving his quarterback, who has not had the best completion percentage today. As we'll go over the top, we have Tanyan back of the end zone, but just thrown too far. It was the right read for Harold, just put a little bit too much under it. 2nd and 10, still about 1.5 minutes left in this one. Need to step up in the pocket. Let's go to the outside. Maybe not, and gladly that one was tipped away. We're no longer in college. These passing windows close rapidly, and we've seen that Harold is not quite used to that, at least so far, as we'll go back to Tanyan with some space, and Campbell knocks it away. Well, we need the 10 points, so we'll take the field goal here, as Brown will boot it right down the middle. Have to try the onside from here. Or we have 3 timeouts. We'll just have to rely on the defense to get the stop. We invested a lot in the defensive line. We're going to put them to the test. Booting this one away. Godwin back, does not return. A minute 20 on the clock. We have all 3 timeouts. And we're gonna need our defensive line to come through for us here. As they start with an ace set. Motion over the tight end. There's some space, but Durant not getting shaken by this time. First timeout called. We just need to do that 2 more times here. 2nd and 8. Another ace formation. Murray just gets sidestepped. Should have been a tackle for a loss. Have to be a little bit more calm there. But it essentially all comes down to this. A 3rd and 4. We are going to send a blitz. I expect them to pass, and they do. And they will find Cobb. We'll call the last timeout just for sakes of it. But they should be able to kneel out the clock from here. And that'll be precisely what they do. So we definitely saw some good here in week 1, but ultimately, as the whistle blows, it will be a loss. 27-20, offense showed flashes. Definitely some things to work on. The offensive line is still a problem. We expected it could be. But where we're seeing the pass rush come through, doesn't really look like it's from the rookies. So at least there's some promise. So ultimately, the first game didn't quite go our way, but as I mentioned there at the end, there were some definite things that looked good and we could definitely build upon. Defense looked pretty good, only gave up 27, so maybe a few more things go our way. We stopped giving up so much yards after the first tackle attempt. Just secure that first tackle. I think it's a completely different game. The offense showed some signs, some flashes, some good things. Need to get the running game a little bit more consistent there for sure. Offensive line is something that we might be making a trade on prior to the trade deadline, whether it's getting rid of some of the guys that we have that currently aren't playing too well and getting paid a lot, trying to bring in some guys, all possibilities. So if there's a guy that's good, that's not currently a starter, or at least that you haven't seen be starters, definitely do let me know. I know the Lions picked up another tackle, so I feel like they might have a spare we can make a trade for. So all that is to come. Do not miss out. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button. Definitely make sure you're tapping the bell icon though, so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the state-only challenge, currently the Virginias, every Wednesday and Saturday. So 6 full-length videos every single week, plus the shorts highlighting everything happening in those games. So a whole bunch of content. Also, make sure you're checking out the community tab so you can see like the players of the week graphics. And I will also be doing graphics for like when trades or when we release someone or anything like that. So the full NFL experience, if you will. So definitely make sure you're jumping into all the content. And until next time, where we actually have ourselves the Battle of SoFi taking on the Chargers. Should be a good game. They have some really good players. Feel like it should be a good matchup. Testing out our guys as well. So until then, we'll see you then. Bye.